Welcome back, Agri Challenge Academy soil chemistry part, and today we're going to discuss about the soil reaction. So, very first, students. So, what is this? Any idea? You have seen this image. Any idea? Can I
Nutrient
explain?
availability at different pH.
Availability of light on different.
Yes, nutrient availability. pH plays a major role in many reactions. Nutrient availability, sometimes it influences the uptake of many nutrients and many chemical characteristics. And there are some arguments that there is some physical characteristics also will be controlled, but scientifically it is not proven. I mean, some authors were saying, but majorly some chemical and biological factors, especially if you want to get a nitrogen fixation, we need some separate pH. The phosphorus, we need a separate pH. And to get rid of the harsh effect of the toxic effect of the aluminium, we need to set one type of pH. So like this, I go on saying about the introduction, it's a n number of examples are there for regarding the importance of pH or soil reaction in agriculture or especially in the soils. So without any delay, we will start. What is a pH? What is a reaction? So soil reaction, students. Soil reaction is a term used to indicate acid-base reactions in the soil, mentioned by the Brady in 1974 and 1970, and Loxden et al. And his co-workers in 2000, Tyndall and Nielsen. All are very famous scientists. So every soil scientist aspirant should know these great manual names. Brady, Longston, maybe Longston you may not have idea, but Tyndall and Nielsen, Tisdale and Nielsen, you know all those things. So soil reaction is nothing but it's a acid-based reactions in the soil. Okay, students. So many have them. So there are many examples. Existence of acid are commonly expressed in terms of pH. So this reaction, these acid-based reactions, commonly expressed in pH. Using the term using the term of acidic pH or neutral pH or basic pH. These terms are not incorrect. Generally, what we usually in our day-to-day life, what we say acidic pH, neutral pH. So it is not like that. So as a professional, being a so professional, how should we speak? Soil pH is nothing but it is a plain number of 0 to 14, and there is a lot of importance of this 0 to 14. We will say all these things. What is the 0 to 14? Which are derived from hydrogen ion activity, which is expressed in negative log. So we should not say soil has an acidic pH, neutral pH, or basic. Not we should not talk like that. So in a professional manner, soil pH values is a plain number of 0 to 14 is derived from the hydrogen ions activity in minus log. So thus activity also will be expressed in negative log. So I'm coming very close to the definition of soil pH. So therefore, soil reaction can be used to simply avoid this problem. So generally we use, so by using these forms, we can avoid the problem. And more of, according to it's a more appropriate. So what should be called for the better understanding? With acid neutral basic reactions or defined as soil with low pH, soil with high pH. So we should call like this: soil with low pH, soil with high pH. So this is a better way of terminology. So what this is regarding a sort of introduction. So anyhow, students, so those are all those things. So before going that, we need to some basic concepts, basic fundamental knowledge on chemistry. So acid base is basic chemistry. So very first, students, these three people. So to understand the supply of acid base concept, it is important first define an acid and base. So we should know what is an acid, what is an a base. So before going to the soil reaction, we want to know which one is called acid, which one is called base. So for that, there are three concepts are there. So there are three theorems are there. One is called Arrhenius theorem, another one is called Bronsted-Lowry theorem, and Lewis theorem. And Arrhenius is the Swedish man, and Bronsted-Lowry. I want to know about Bronsted, but Lowry is an English chemist. He's from London. So Lowry, and these two are independent people. The two scientists are Bronsted and Lowry, and Lewis. These three concepts, and there are many other concepts also there, but they are not in well. But majorly we are going to discuss about these three concepts. Very first, we will see what is Arrhenius theory. Any idea before going to my explanation? Does anybody have what is the idea regarding Arrhenius theory? Very first, students, regarding with these major concepts, very first we will see the Arrhenius theory. So Arrhenius theory, it is mostly this person is Arrhenius developed this concept between 1880 to 1890, stated that acid is a compound that containing hydrogen. So hydrogen is nothing but H plus ion is nothing but uh, it's a acid. So which whatever the substance releases H plus ions is called acid. In aqueous solution, the acid yields H plus ions. So that means what is the meaning? Any substance which yields H plus ions is called as hydrogen ion, sometimes proton also is called as acid. So the hydrogen in fact bare proton, it is a bare proton, it is single line, single proton. without an electron connected to it in the hydrogen atom, which is single charge, which is nothing but single bare proton, single charge. Okay. Therefore, the term hydrogen or proton are often interchangeable. So generally, what we will say, these may be interchanged. So we can use both interchangeably. So free hydrogen does not exist in the soil solution. So there is no chance of free hydrogen, but exists only with attachment of water molecules called the hydronium. I hope you are getting my point. So students, nothing is there. So this is the water. Think this is the water. In the beaker, I have put in the water. Okay. So I added HCl. Added HCl. What will happen if I add HCl to water? Can anyone explain? What will happen?
Water become acidic.
Okay. What will happen to this HCl? So this HCl will be divided
It
into.
will form hydronium ions and
Water
chloride.
Yes.
hydronium and chlorine.
Yes. So the HCl will divide into H plus and Cl man. That means it giving one additional proton, a simple hydrogen ion is released into this aqueous solution, and generally it won't be silent, so it will form H3O. H3O. But this is called H3O is called nothing but called hydronium ion. But later on, students, due to some convenience, what we are doing in chemistry, mostly we write only H plus aqua. Generally, most of the textbooks nowadays we're using H plus in bracket, they write aqua. Aqua means it is present in water. For avoiding complication reactions. So while we are writing any reactions to avoid any complications, so simply we are writing H plus as an aqua. So this is regarding students. So any substance, so best example of H plus. And remember students, there are many type of acids are there. Monotrites. 1 minute, students. Yeah, there are many types of acids are there, students. Referred as mono, di, tri, or polyprotic acids. Mono means which release only one H plus ions. Where di means two H plus ions. Tri means three. Poly means many, more than three. So like that, there are many type of acids are there. Please remember that those words. Okay, students. So this is regarding H plus iron is called simply any substance which release H plus ions in the solution in water is called an acid. It's called an acid, and which in turn, which finally which forms some hydronium. Hydronium ion is nothing but H2O plus the released H plus ion. Okay, so that one will join, will give us H3O plus. This is called hydronium ion. But generally, for our equation purpose, we usually mention H plus in bracket. We write aqua. I hope you got that. So this is regarding the acid in what Irene said is like this. Any substance, whether we add HCl or sometimes we mostly in soil science we use H2SO4, which gives a 2H plus ions. That is called the that acid is called dietric acid. It will give the dietric. So acids that, yeah, this is what I'm willing to express. Acid that can be dissociated 1, 2, 3 or more protons, often referred as mono, di, tri or polyprotic acid. That means it's now we explain HCl is called which type of acid, students?
Mono, sir.
Mono. Okay, H2SO4.
Di.
Okay, H3PO4.
Try, sir.
So like this. So how many hydrogens are referred as? So acid that dissociated 1, 2, 3 is called proton, often referred as mono, di, tri, or that means monoprotic, diprotic, triprotic. If it is more than 4, generally more than 3 or more than, you can see more acid, this is for a polypatric compound. So compounds that both dissociated, both dissociated added proton is called amphoteric nature. Can anyone give a beautiful definition about this amphoteric nature? What is amphoteric? Okay, water is called amphoteric. So yes or no? Whether water is called amphoteric in nature? Yes or no? Your answer. Whether water is called as amphoteric in reaction or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can I explain why? How?
It can donate H plus and can accept H plus.
Yes. It can donate. It can release H plus, and also it can accept it. It is forming hydronium. So that both reactions are taking place. See, I already mentioned in Greek, amphic means both. So both accepting and releasing of that H plus ions or protons are taking place in water. Best example, water is an example of amphoteric compound because it dissociated through very weakly You can dissociate means releasing, breakdowning a proton and accept a proton from hydronium and illustrated as the following reaction. I'm sorry, students, due to delay of light, I didn't edit all these things. So please try to understand me. So H2O is release a H plus and OH minus ions. But the same water, if you add H plus ions, again it form a hydronium. Okay, so hydronium ion has been formed. So this is the amphoteric nature. Please remember these words. This di-tri amphoteric in nature. Okay, because you will gonna face some problems regarding this. So the reaction is called as amphoteric. So such type of reactions, so which participate both giving and taking of protons is called as autoprotolysis. So the reaction is called autoprotolysis. Of course, such extent only very few compound of hydronium and hydroxide ions are produced. Mostly students in water you can see very less protolysis we can see. So refined. So after a great analysis, what we are saying? Refined analysis reported that only around 1 into 10 to the power of minus 7 molars of hydronium and OH minus in a pure water has been taken place. Only this much of dissociation we can see. That's why. So H plus. So that's why we can see mostly 1 into 10 to the power of minus 14 will be there. Generally, if we add both OH minus and H plus. That's why we get this value 1 into 10 to the power of minus 14. So the dissociation was very less. So this is regarding the acid. Now, what about the base, sir? So you have said many things about acid by Arrhenius, but Arrhenius also said about the base also. Base is nothing but opposite. The substance which releases hydroxide compounds in a water is called base, or base solution generally we call as alkaline solution. Generally called as alkaline solution. Nothing is there much. So this is the water. I think this is the beaker. In beaker we have water. I had now we take the best example called sodium hydroxide. Very strong base, right? Sodium hydroxide, NaOH. So what will happen to this NaOH if I add to this water solution? What will happen? Can anyone answer?
Sir, sodium chloride means it will convert it into
sodium chloride, no, not sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide, NaOH. I'm asking about NaOH, strong
sodium
base.
hydroxide may be dissociated into sodium plus and hydroxide minus.
Come on, be confident. Maybe not. You're right. That is, it will divide into Na plus and OH minus. So it releases OH minus. So this is called as base. The compounds which release hydroxide ion in the aqueous solution or water is called base or basic solution, or generally we call it alkali solution. So like these students, Arrhenius counts are essentially valid only for few definition students. Best example, few definition, because there are some problems are there. Almost all acids containing hydrogen and dissociate H plus ions. However, Arrhenius definition of the base limit base is only for the compound containing hydroxide group. So, the basic nature's problem is that Arrhenius was completely restricted to only one concept called hydroxide ions. But if you go to the salts like sodium chloride, those also called sometimes considered as a base also. So it is currently ammonia, especially, and many other organs have exhibit characteristics of base compounds. So generally, students, ammonia is a base or an acid. Ammonia is a base or acid? Yeah.
Base.
Okay, you have some idea. Keep it that. In next slide, you will get some idea whether it's called base or idea. Now we will see in Bronsted. Bronsted explained about this problem. So keep this slide, students. You will get idea whether it's a base or idea. You will get idea after the end of this lecture. So keep that that enthusiasm in your mind. So before going to clear that concept, we enter into the Bronsted. Bronsted said that Bronsted and Lord both are independently worked in 1923. But an acid compound capable of donating proton. So it's a giving of proton is called proton donor, and the base is nothing but proton acceptor. So any compound is capable of accepting proton. Their proton is nothing but OH minus ions. For our convenience, accepting OH minus is called sorry, H plus. H plus then it become OH minus ion. So accepting H plus is called base. So releasing H plus is called acid. So proton donor, proton acceptor. So the acid-base concept is completely based on the proton concept. Proton concept only Bronsted and Lowry was dependent. So therefore, HCl is an acid. However, dissociated remaining CS minus is then a base because it accepts the proton. Right, that students. So the last example, we have seen that in a water, we have added HCl. What happened? So H plus and Cl minus. Okay, H is acid, right? But at the same time, Cl is considered as a base because it can accept the proton. or it can accept the hydrogen if it's any availability is there. So automatically it become a base. So this is regarding the Bronsted and Lowry theorem. Don't confuse, just keep this idea in you. Coming to the next, sorry. Yeah. So this type of acid base, pairs is called conjugate pair. Students, again, we have to go back to your childhood days. What is the meaning of conjugate acid, conjugate bases? Any idea? This is also we have read in our olden days, in our school days. So anyhow, it is nothing students. This type of pair, both have capacitor of acid and base pair. It is called the conjugate pair. Those are the conjugate acids. It's a very big concept. It's not a place to discuss all those things. So now let us come to the concept. If HCl was dissolved in water, the following reaction will happen. What will happen? Hydronium was previously called as hydronium ion because hydronium is formed by the adsorption of proton by water molecule. So generally, if you dissolve HCl, what will happen? H will come and join with the water. So water is a proton acceptor. At the same time, consequently, water can consider as a base also. The reaction is left will not occur in a reverse. Because H2 is a strong proton acceptor also than the proton donor. So we cannot accept this reaction in a reverse mode also. We can't get, the reverse reaction will not done. But it can also, it is a strong acceptor. So water is a strong acceptor of proton. But we can't accept that reverse reaction is not possible in HCl condition. In this theory, Bronsted-Lowry theory example. So don't be confused. It is nothing there. What Arrhenius said is nothing but any substance which release H plus or OH minus is called as acid and base respectively. Whereas the Lowry and Bronsted said that any substance is completely accepting and donating. So that accept donating concept was given by the Lowry and Bronsted. Keep these two in your mind as an add state. So now this is students. So now you say whether it is ammonia is an acid or base. So according to this proton concept, what will happen? So ammonia is then a base, right? Ammonia is then a base. Ammonium ion is called an acid because why, students? If you add one hydrogen to the ammonia, what will happen? It has become a ammonium. So it is accepting. So accepting an hydrogen means that what it is called? Then ammonia is called as
Base.
base. So it was accepting as per the Bronsted-Lowry theory, which was not explained by the Arrhenius theory. There he got stuck. At the same time, see this one also, ammonium. So ammonium can also be done as ammonia and H plus ions. So it is releasing. So ammonium is called as acid or base?
Acid.
Acid, donating, as per the Bronsted-Lowry theory. So like these students, as in case of HCl, same as we compare, just like comparing HCl, this ammonia and ammonia. See, ammonium and ammonia pair is also called as conjugate acid base pair, whereas ammonia as a conjugate base of acid called ammonium. So this is called the conjugate acid base theory. Please, students, if you have any time, please read about this conjugate base, conjugate acid, all those things, because it's a very big concept to explain here. So however, ammonia is also functioning as an acid because it is dissociated according to the following reaction. Generally, students, because ammonia also can act as a acid also because it was dissociating as per which theory? These reactions are done by which theory? This reaction is taken place by which theory? Ammonia releasing H plus ions coming as it's NH2. Right? I think so. Yeah. This reaction was taking place by which theory? Arya, come on. Ammonia is releasing H plus ions. Huh? Which theory?
Arrhenius concept.
Come on, that is called Arrhenius concept. This also anyhow it was releasing. That was releasing. There is a division. There is a donation of H plus ions also. Sometimes this also act as a even if Bronsted also explaining it was sometimes act as an acid also. This ammonia as acting as acid also. So this entire concept we can't see in Arrhenius theory, which was explained by Brodie and Bronsted. So the amide ion is a conjugate base here to the acid to the ammonia. So these are conjugate base. This is a conjugate acid. This is what this is a beauty of conjugate base, acid conjugate base. With a base stronger than itself, ammonia will behave as an acid, but with an acid stronger than itself, it will react as a base. So such compound was previously called as amphoteric compound. So amphoteric compound means those compounds can behave as both acid and base, is called as a amphoteric in nature. So ammonia is called as amphoteric or not? Are you sure? Ammonia is called as amphoteric? Say yes or no. Ammonia is called amphoteric. Are you clear? Amphoteric or not?
Amphoteric, sir.
Amphoteric. Okay. Okay. So this is regarding the Bronsted and Lowry theory, students. So anyhow, before going to Lewis theory, does anybody have any doubt regarding these two theories? Please, you clear it. Then we can go to the next concept called Lewis theory. So Lewis concept is nothing but it is completely dependent upon a compound can accept the electronic pair is called electronic acceptor. It is called an acid. At the same time, a compound that can donate an electronic pair is called as a basic compound. So best example, our water. So our water, when H plus is accepting this OH one is called. So donating an electronic pair is called as a base. So OH is an electronic base. H plus is so there is a sharing is there that so it will form with the covalently bond. This is regarding the Lewis concept. Quite different. Same example of ammonia. So coming to the application. So how our concept will be applied in our soils. So in this study, three major theories. Perhaps it may be denoted in the soils. One time both. So generally we use only two theorems for our soils and conditions. One is Bronsted-Lowry theory and Lewis theory. We can be applied. We can go, but sometimes mostly we go for however another time we go for Arrhenius and Bronsted-Lowry theory for more suitable description. So we use only Arrhenius and Bronsted theory. So reactions in the clay mineral, perhaps Bronsted concept may be applied because of the complex reactions of organic matter. If the clay was absorbed by dissociated product, illustrated like this. So if the clay has H plus, and so where H plus is a number of adsorbed H plus ions, we can assume that soil clay has. So accepting H plus according to Bronsted-Lowry theory, clay is a base. So dissociating H plus ions, so releasing of H plus ions is called the Bronsted layer. So this type of nature is called as. So soil is called as amphoteric. How many times I have to say?
Yes, sir. Amphoteric.
Amphoteric. Remember, any compound which has a capacity of both donating and taking, it is called amphoteric compounds. Okay, remember those things. So anyhow, formulation of soil acidity and alkalinity. So now we see in the many theories like Arrhenius Bronsted theory in combined. So mostly for our soil science purpose, we usually combine these two theories like Arrhenius and Bronsted theory. Combination must be applied for the characteristic of acid and alkaline conditions in the soil. So we should always combine these two theories only we can understand. In acid soils, there will be more H plus ions than OH minus ions. On the other hand, basic soils, opposite. We have more OH minus ions than H plus ions. In neutral, there will be equal. There will be equal share of H plus ions. So characterize these conditions. To know these conditions, to know about this condition, we use one concept called soil pH. So who given the soil pH scale? Any idea?
Sorensen.
Finally, Sorensen. Finally, another new student were answering. Come on, students. It's time for interaction. So Sorensen is also another Swedish. Actually, he's working in some beverages. He identified this soil pH concept. So now let us see about this soil pH. So naturally, students, the term of pH was introduced by Sorensen in 1909 when he was working on a problem with a brewing beverage. Using for as a beer while brewing a beer, he found about this concept called pH, where the fermented reactions involve very sensitive to the H plus ions concentration. So generally he found, so what happened, actually he's a beverager, he's working in a beer factory. What will happen? He found that there is a very sensitivity. There is a beer taste was completely differing with the H plus ions. So after prolonged research, he found that one formula. It is called pH is equal to log 1 by AH plus is equal to, so it was generally if we is nothing but 1 by A plus minus. So generally if we go to the upper side, what will happen? It will turn into minus A plus ions. So generally AH plus minus activity is nothing but hydrogen plus ions. So however frequently it is more convenience to use H plus ions. So previously very olden days, when Sorensen was discovered, he given like this. But later, for our convenience, we replace this H plus minus with only H plus n concentration than the active. So diluted conditions is a H plus n is equal to H plus n. So the above equation. So for our convenience, we convert this above equation into like this: pH is equal to log 1 by H plus n, or nowadays we're taking pH is equal to minus log H plus ions. This is the concept mostly we are using in our day-to-day activity. So very first Sorensen was given, but later it was modified to this like. So pH is equal to log 1 by H plus. So it is equal, or you can write this is equal to minus log H plus n. So now you say, can anyone say what is the definition of pH?
A negative logarithm of hydrogen
Yes.
ion activity.
Yes, the negative logarithmic value of hydrogen ions is called as pH. Simple. Now we will say another one. So now we will see, so there is a log, minus log is equal to P. If you take minus log is equal to P, a simple term pH is now available describing the soil acidity. Actually, we'll read about this acidity, active acidity, reserve acidity, etc. in acid soil study. That's why today I'm not touching about that one. So by saying only that pH is 7, instead of saying that H plus ion concentration is 1 into 10 to the power of 7. So generally, if you want to say anything, any compound in very low pH, generally we will say pH at 7. With acidity means you have to say about the pH less than 7. So application of pH concept in the autoprotolysis or dissociation of pure water gives the following reaction. Autoprotolysis means generally water will be dissociated, student. It will be dissociated. So the ion generally you actually, this is a very basic concept in electrochemistry. Water will be dissociated into 10 to the power of 14. 10 to the power of 14 means it's the combination of H plus and OH minus ions. Here we can say. So the ionic product of water is Kw is equal to CH plus COH minus ions is equal to 10 to the power of 4. That means the dissociation concept H plus yes, OH minus ions is equal to 10 to the power of 14. You will get more details about this. See, I will give very simple explanation in the coming slides about this problem. So by taking negative logarithm, so by applying negative log to do this formula, we get this one. So we are applying negative log to everyone. So everything what will happen? So change into pKw. It's an ionic compound, students. Kw is nothing but ionic compound is equal to pH plus POH. Is nothing but totally the ionic compound of water is 14. So the dissociated constant, the division of H plus OH minus is called as 14. Okay, students. Now we will go to the next slide. So in which P is nothing but called negative log, students. Here I mentioned P now, it is nothing but called negative log. This is called the negative log. P is nothing but your negative log. Okay. So as the above stated example, the pH plus OH is equal to constant and conversion of one into another. So generally we can convert, students. So if I know the pH, pH plus POH. So if I know the pH, what can I do? I can make, if I know pH. So I want to know. So for example, 8.2 is I'm giving one pH value. So I want to find the pH. What I will do? So POH is equal to is 8.2 minus total 14. You will get OH minus concentration. Actually, you will do the one problem on this concept. So nothing but is a constant of pH plus POH minus equal to constant. So both are equal. That is both are 7. It has a 7. This is a constant of 7. This is a constant of 7. So this is regarding. This is another simple matter. Therefore, so generally we can convert, students. If you want to find out any substance is acidic or alkalic, by using this concept only we can calculate the concept. You will do some problems on this concept in coming slides. Now measuring of soil pH, students. So how you are going to measure? Any idea? We have did many analysis, BSMS. How you will do analysis?
1:2.5 ratio.
1:2.5. Yes, actually 1:2.5 is done in TNA. Okay, no problem. That's the right method. How we will do 1:2.5 means?
One portion of soil means 2.5% of water we need to add.
Yes, yeah, that is the concept. So generally, so now we're going to explain. Now we will see, and students, remember after coming this slide, I will play one video. So just listen that video, and you will get a very clear-cut idea about the construction of electrode. Because if I say theoretically it is very difficult, that's why I added a video. So please see that video very careful. Okay. Before that, I'm going to explain about the measurement of soil pH. So generally, soil pH now generally first it was determined by the glass electrode. Nowadays, we are going to explain about the glass electrode. Glass electrode. So it consisting of a thin bulb, students. It consists of a very thin glass bulb containing diluted HCl. Sometimes it was replaced with other chemical also into which inserted silver and silver chloride wire serving as an electrode, serving an electrode with a fixed voltage. So we will send some fixed voltage to that electrode, then we can calculate. So when the glass bulb is immersed in the solution, what will happen? So when the glass bulb is immersed in the solution, a potential difference will be taken test students. So whenever we send an electromotive force, or whenever we send a electromotive force, what will happen? There will be a differentiation of potential will be developed. So we will calculate that one. We will calculate that differential. So that differential will be, that potential will be formulated or will be calculated by Nernst equation, or Nernst equation. That equation is like this. There is a derivation for this Nernst equation. If you are interested, please go through your. Because I can explain all these things, because for explaining this one itself, I take a long time. But generally, we are preparing for competitive exams. That's why I'm giving a simple equation. E is equal to RT by NF log K. This is called the Nernst equation. Based on this equation only, we're getting our pH. Nowadays, it was completely mechanized. So R is nothing but called gas constant. T is absolute temperature. N is the valency. F is the Faraday's constant. K is a constant. M is a constant. M is the activity of ion to be measured with the N plus value. So this is the Nernst equation. So now I'm going to show you one video, student, which will give a very clear cut idea about your thing. So E is an half cell, cannot be measured alone. So generally, if we insert so half cell, we can't measure with the help of only glass electrode. We can't measure the potential. So that's why we need a reference electrode. The reference electrode may be cloth electrode or caramel electrode, etc. So before any pH measure, two electrodes have to be placed first in the solution. But you know what are those elections? One is the standard. There are two electrodes. One is called the glass electrode, and one is called the reference electrode. But nowadays we are getting both the electrodes in one side only. Okay, students. So before going to measuring the pH, we have to standardize the pH meter. Okay, pH meter, we use some solutions like 4, 7, 9. These standard solutions we usually immerse in the electrode. We will standardize it, and we will make the instrument very careful. That's just for to protect the standard value. So the two electrodes. So overall potential, if you do that standardization, you will that standardization will be mentioned in this equation. So if the two electrodes now placed, so the two electrodes are placed in unknown solution. If you place any unknown solution, then you should calculate with this equation. Actually, nowadays everything is becoming digitized, so no need to that. Just for knowledge purpose, I'm giving all these things. So please do it. Now subtracting above both equations. So if we do subtraction, what will happen? Finally, we will end up with this equation. EC or E naught is equal to RT or pH. So generally, RT by RF means is the Faraday constant, temperature. R is what is R? Or last R is gas constant. So if you do calculate, we will
That's
get
constant.
yeah, we get this one. EC minus we get of almost 0.011. Finally, we'll get what will happen. This means for a change of 1 pH unit, the potential should change around, the electro EMF potential should be around 0.591 volts. Please remember this value. So the soil pH can be measured in several ways, students. Actually, there are many ways. Mostly in Indian laboratories, we use only water extractor. Hardly we'll go for saturation paste extraction. And KCl suspension and calcium chloride suspension for research purpose they will use, but regularly we go for regularly mostly we use the distilled water. Around there are many proportions are there. Some people will go for 1:1.5, 1:2.5, like that. Many proportions are there. They use based on their condition. Many laboratories will use different methods, but mostly in Coimbatore they use 1:2.5. Thing only they will use. That means they will take around 10 grams of soil, then they will add 25 ml of distilled water, and they will stir it. They will stir intermittently. They will give stirring, and they will put the electrode. Then they will read the all this. Actually, all these equations are very old ones, but for your knowledge purpose, I've given. Now, students, please be careful. Now, listen this video. Right. That's regarding the video, students. It's nothing but it's a potential difference between your reference electrode and the glass electrode. Usually we see that. So whenever the hydrogen concentration is more in your so-called sample, generally the pH will be more. So when the both the hydrogen ions in the reference in your glass electrode and reference electrode is equal to your solution, then the pH will be around 7. That is a neutral. The same is vice versa. It's complete difference means what will happen? If there is a very less, if there is a very less means less in your solution, less H plus ions are there, and there is a more gathering of more H plus ions in your glass electrode. That condition is called acidic condition. I hope you have cleared your idea. I hope you get some idea regarding with this video. Does anybody have any questions regarding with that video? Right. This is regarding, students, if there is a hydronium ion, or sometimes this is considered as H plus ion also for our convenience. Yeah, here I mentioned. If there is a more, it is hydronium ion is considered as acidic concentration. If there is a OH minus ion, it is called the basic concentration. This is clear for everyone. If you get a more OH minus ion concentration, it is called the basic nature. If there is a more hydronium or H plus ions, generally nowadays all the textbooks are giving this notation only. This is called the acidic concentration. Now you will see something more about this one. So what is pH? It's the power of hydrogen ions, right? That is what we are going to learn about that. The strength of an acid or a base character of the substance. So mathematically, this pH was represented by pH is equal to minus log H plus ions. It is okay. We can write hydronium, but H plus ions, so ion also is accepted. This is regarding the power of hydrogen ions or H plus. So what is POH? No, there is a pH, okay. What is about POH? POH is nothing but power of hydrogen ions, hydroxide ions, OH minus ions. So mathematically, this was expressed as POH is equal to negative log of OH minus ions. I hope you're getting my point. So please note down these two. Based on these two equations, you're going to write, sorry, you're going to do some problems here. Let us go through that. Yeah, this regard. So what is the relation? What is the relation between the pH and pOH? Generally, we have a scale, students. So generally, if you are there are two scales between pH and pOH. So in general, if your value is around 14, your value coming around 14 means that is called the weak base. If your pOH value comes under around 14 means that is called the weak base, or it is 0 means that is called the strong base. So your pOH value, if it is 0, that is nothing but 1 into 10 to the power of 0, that means it is a strong base. Or if it is 1 into 10 to the power of 14, what do you say? So now general negative value. So that is called the weak base. Pakka ulta, same, reverse to that. What is a strong acid? If it is 0, it is called your 1 into 10 to the power of minus 0 or 0. It is called strong acid. If you go to the 1 to the power of 10, 14, it is called the weak acid. Pakka opposite to each other, students. It is a pakka opposite to each other. And why many of you can understand that. Why it is negative log? Can anyone give idea? Why pH is equal to minus log? There is a some hidden meaning in it. Can anyone answer? Why pH is called minus log? Any idea? Yes or no? Whether you know or not.
No, sir.
Okay. Now I'll give one idea. If the pH was increasing, so pH was around 8.5, 8.6, sometimes in states like Kerala, you can say around 9.5 also. What will be the hydrogen ion concentration? Decreases or increases?
Decreases.
Hey, pH is around 8.5 to 9. Whether the H plus ions activity will be increase or decrease?
The H plus ion activity will decrease, sir.
Yeah, decreases, right? Okay.
OH ion activity will increase.
Okay. Now you're right. So when the pH was increasing, this was decreasing. At the same time, the pH was around 3.2, especially in Bhubaneswar, you can see around 4.4, 4.4. Hardly you can see reach up to 3.5 also some soils. So when this was increasing, when this was decreasing, pH was around 3.5. What about the H plus ion concentration? Will increase or decrease?
Increase.
Come on, be confident. It is increase. Will increase. That's why it is called as negative log. That is a hidden meaning why it is given this symbol called minus. Okay, I hope you catch my point. So this is regarding. I hope I don't need to explain about this.
Okay, sure.
Okay, students, take your notes and calculators and do all these things. So so water does have. What does water have to do with this? So water has a power of release protons from OH minus and also act as hydronium also. This nature is called water's nature. This nature is called releasing of both the proton and reactant. Amphoteric nature. So remember mathematically. So mathematically, this was represented as OH minus ions is equal to 10 to the power of P minus. So if you want to find out any concentration of OH minus ions, you have to represent 10 to the power of POH. If you want to know the H plus ions or hydronium ion concentration, is equal to 10 to the power of minus pH. Remember, these are the important formulas you have to know. And this P is nothing but your negative log, as I mentioned in my previous slide. So H plus and OH minus is equal to 14. That is the ionization constant. That is the ionization of water. So remember these formulas and now try to do the problems. Okay, students. So calculate the pOH of sodium hydroxide. So given OH minus concentration is 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Can anyone do this? Calculate the pOH of sodium hydroxide. So I have given one value is 3.3 into 3.0 into 10 to the power of 2 molars. Can anyone do this? Any idea? Okay, I will explain about this first one. You do the second one, okay? This is so. What is the formula, students, for pOH? Please note it down in your notes. POH is equal to minus, it's a negative logarithm of OH minus ions. Okay. Now it's very simple. Just drop your this value here and do with the help of your calculator. Take negative log of this 3.0 10 to the power of minus 3. You will get 1.5228. So you can use only first two digits. 522 is enough. Only 522 is enough. Your calculator will show very big length, but first two digits are quite enough for your representation. Okay, students, 1.5222. This is regarding your POH is equal. This is a formula. Okay, have you got it? Have you got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, now do this. Do the second one. Do the second one, HCl. Calculate the hydronym of HCl, that's H plus ions of HCl. Just simple, students. I'm asking here, I asked OH, here I'm asking H plus. You can think it as H plus ions to avoid confusion. So the pH is around 1.20. Now, which formula you have to use? Please note it down the formulas which I have given previously.
pH is equals to minus log of H plus ion.
This is the formula. Now you please put the formula and calculate in your calculator and say the answer.
Six 6.3 into 10 to the power minus 2.
Okay, someone has said one answer. Let us see is right or wrong. 10 to the power of, so like this. Yes, 6.3 into 10 to the power of minus 2 moles. Molar. This is regarding the calculation, students. So I don't think so, students, up to my experience. So when I have written JRF or SRF, I didn't found they're asking this type of calculation because you have to use calculator. Calculators are not allowed in examination hall. But anyhow, we don't know. ICL is always raising a bar ahead. We should be very careful to know all these things. Anyhow, next one. What is the pH of a solution if H plus ions is 1 into 10 to the power of 3 concentration? So I will explain the first one. You should do the second one. Okay. Naturally, what is the pH? Use a negative log of H plus ions. Simply put it in your equation. Then you get the pH is 3. Now explain. Okay. Now calculate the second one. What is the pH of solution? pH plus ion is 1 into 10 to the power of minus 3 moles.
5.
5. All are okay. I'm getting only very few answers. What the rest of people are doing? Wait. So this is a formula we should use. Substituted. Simple 5. Only to remember this type of tricky questions, there is a one yardstick is there, students. See, it is 10 to the power of 3, right? It is 10 to the power of 5. Your value also is 3. Yes, this is for examination purpose. In exam, you get this type of question means simply don't waste your time by doing all this, substituting all these things. Just see this power and just put your answer. Okay, this is one of the trick you have to play in pH conditions. Okay. What is the pH of a solution if H plus ion is 1.4 into 10 to the power of minus 5? I'll explain the first one and you do the second one. So naturally, this is a formula. You have substituted and you get the answer. Same thing, you do it for the second one. Students, be careful. Anyone can read the theory, that doesn't matter. Calculation plays a major role. Answer?
3.82, sir.
3.82, right? So this is the equation 3.82. Yes, Mr. Chatterjee, you are good, but you are not writing exams. Why? Anyway, thank you, students. There is few more problems.
Exam, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Let's do these problems. So what is the pH of H2SO4 solution? It's a molarity of 1.5 into 10 to the power of 4. Students, this is dipolarizes, always forgetting, yeah. Diproteotic acid, students. Remember, it releases 2 H plus ions. So what is the pH of H2SO4? It's a di. There's a 2 hydrogen ions will be released. And the solution molarity is 1.5 into 10 to the power of 4. This is the tri. Okay, students, I will explain this H2SO4. You do this H3PO4, okay? This is the formula, and here I mentioned 2 because it's a di. This is a diacid. Sorry,
.69, sir.
diproteotic. Okay, so you're getting as a pH of 3.5. Generally, it's a sulfuric acid almost will be 3.5. We should accept it. Very strong acid. Now explain how. Try to do this second one also. What is the pH of H3PO4 solution with a molarity of 1.5 into 10 to the power of -4? Come on, faster. I want a very quick answer. In competitive exam, time is very important.
3.34, sir.
3.34. Okay, any volunteers? Chatterjee said 3.34. Anyone? Varun, are you calculating?
3.34, sir.
Okay, Varun is saying, I think Ilavasi will do because she has many experience. Now we'll see.
Sir, I don't have calculation.
Okay, no problem. So this is pH. This is a formula. Naturally, there is a 3 H3. There is a triproteotic acid. So we get 3.35. Quite difference. Okay, but this is a very stronger than this, right? H2SO4 is much stronger than H3PO. So now, oh my God, I'm sorry, students. I forgot to cover the answer. 1 minute. I will. 1 minute, students. For time being, I will pause my sharing, and again I will join you. Please be in line. Please be in line. Please be in line, students. I'm making some arrangements. I forgot to cover this. Please be in line. Don't go anywhere. Still, there is one more last problem, students, for today's class. You just do that, and we can leave the class. Actually, this sort of things are very important in examination purpose. Okay. Right. Right, students. So this is my problem. Calculate the pH, POH, H plus ions, and OH minus ions of sodium hydroxide, very strong base solution, which is a concentration of 4 into 10 to the power of 3 moles. Now you should calculate the pH, POH, H plus, OH minus ions, and NaOH of NaOH with the help of this concentration. Okay. With the help of this concentration. Now I will, so for the time being, I will give formulas. So these are the formulas. By using these formulas, you have to calculate all these things. Okay. Start your calculation. I'm waiting for your answers. Can anyone is ready? I have given formulas. You should calculate the pH, pOH, H plus, OH minus ions of NaOH, and I given a
pH
constant.
11.602.
Which one you're saying about pH?
pH, yes sir, pH 11.602.
How much is pH?
11.602.
11.602. Quite interesting. Okay. What about pOH?
pH 2.398.
2.398.
398.
Okay, this is also. What about H plus?
OH minus ion is equals to 4 into 10 to the power minus 3.
What is OH minus is?
4 into 10 to the power minus 3.
To the power of, yes, accepted. And what about H plus?
Sir, I can't calculate a logged minus
Right.
7.
All these answers are right. Try about this H plus. Come on, rest all people, you should also participate. These calculations are important for examination purpose. Strategy, you reach. By help of these answers only, you can find out and concentration also. Any volunteers? Anyone other than our Subhashis and Vestal, anyone can answer. Anyone other than him? Yeah, because he had already given 3 values. Subhashis, I can give one clue. You already find out OH minus ions. So you can easily take out this OH minus from OH minus ions, and you can take this H plus ions. Now you can calculate that. I think you can use this formula. Okay, anyone got answer about that H plus? No? How much? How much? Literacy, how much?
I'm not calculating, but 14 minus OH minus ions.
Okay, you do that. That's
UH
a common
plus
sense.
ions
How much it will get?
Sir, what is the answer? OH?
OH is he's citing that 4 into 10 to the power of minus 3.
Sir, 10 to the power 3 means definitely I'm going to use calculator. I don't can see.
Subhashis, have you got the answer?
No, sir.
Okay,
I
anyhow.
can't calculate.
Okay, we can appreciate your effort. Now I'm showing the solution for this problem. So very first, actually, in a very first step, there's a finding out the OH minus ions. You can easily find this NaOH is a strong base. We can easily find. Remember, students, whenever you dissolve this NaOH, this will split into 2, sodium and hydroxide. So generally, you can easily find out the OH minus ion concentration as simply like this, 4 into 10, because sodium is divided. This is a very raw method. Because it's a division, Na plus will go somewhere and OH minus will left out. So the concentration is already the given, that is 4 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Or he had given right answer. Now step 2, to find out the POH. POH or formula, already I have given formula. So in this formula, you have to substitute this value. So after substituting, by calculating, you will get 2.40. But he given how much? 2.39. Okay, you reached 3. Oh, almost he gone. 3.9. Okay, it is 2.40. No problem. And step 3, to find out the pH. I also asked about the pH. So 14 minus pOH. So total is the total component is pH. To find out the pH, what should I do? So pH is equal to, so it will go this side, means negative. So pOH. Already I have a pOH formula. This is a 2 point. Already I find out the 2.40. So I got pH around 11.6. Yeah, I give 11.6. Very good. Okay, 11.6 quite enough. pH is 11.6. The same time, step 4, to find out the H plus ion concentration. This is what you're missing. H plus ion concentration formula is nothing but 10 to the power of minus pH is equal to, you can get the H plus ion concentration.
2.51. Sir, 2.51 answer.
Which one?
2.51.
Yeah, you have substituted. Now I show the formula, so you've got that. Okay, we have got the pH value, so we have substituted here. So finally we get 2.51 into 10 to the power of minus 12. So we get the minus 12. So like this, at the same time, students, if you divide it, actually this is a standard concept. HNO is 10 to the power minus 12. So if you divide this, if you have got divided this, we can get almost, we can reach up to here, this concentration, almost some 12 or something. We get somewhere, yeah, somewhere we get 12 or something. Almost we have reached here, concentration. So this is regarding this. So this is how you have to calculate. The only thing, students, you have to remember the formulas. How to calculate OH, how to calculate the pH, how to calculate the OH. So these formulas are very, very important. I will upload this video in a YouTube, and I will send that link to you. So today with this, thank you very much. Thank you very much, students, for listening to this patience class. And this is a thanking slides for you. Even this slide also will give you a beautiful answer. So when it's a 0, almost acid condition, our stomach acid will be around 1, and lemon juice, the so-called lemon, will come at 11. It's come around 2. Vinegar will come around 3. Wine, so-called wine, is kind of daily regular coffee, comes under 5. Milk, almost 6. Water, which naturally we go for 7. Blood, almost blood is around 7.2 to 7.5. It will be there. And baking soda, so-called baking soda is 9. And milk of something. What is this? Milk of something.
Magnesia.
Milk of magnesia, sir.
Magnesia something. Magnesia is around 10, and ammonia is 11. Soda, our soap, is considered around 12. Our bleach is considered around 13. Our drain cleaner, so we use for regular, whenever we face any jamming problem, we use for liquid, that comes around 14. And this is a formula. This is the godfather of all our pH conditions. So by seeing this, we'll get all the answers. Thank you very much, students, for listening to this class.